Is rich with stories, and many people in our community are writing those stories. Now there's a forum for people to share their love of story writing. It's called the Storybox Project, and it's a move to bring the art of storytelling to our city. Joining me today as part of the Storybox Project, Kevin Cordy, the founder and director of the Storybox Project, and with the Multicultural Center at OSU, Rebecca Nelson, and we also have the founder of Wild Goose Creative, Ryan Hoke. Thank you all three for joining me. And Kevin, I'm going to start with you because this was your idea, your brainchild,
Sure.
and this is the Storybox.
It's one of the story boxes, yes.
How did this all, first of all, explain what it is.
Sure. Storybox is a box that travels around the world for 1 year and then comes back to the launching site, and we celebrate the stories that are already in the box and stories that we put in the box. But this year we have 50 story boxes in and around Columbus and as far as Singapore.
So you started with one box.
We did.
Then you got this whole movement going where different boxes are at different places.
Since 1995, off and on, we've had story boxes traveling every 3 weeks. But this year we're kind of doing a much bigger project in partnership with the Multicultural Center.
And Rebecca, you're from the Multicultural Center, so how are you participating in this? You have a box or several boxes?
Well, we have this as one of the boxes, and I think the way we're participating is almost 2 years ago when Kevin and I first met, I really thought this could be a captivating experience for students because narrative is such an important part of leadership. But I don't think we always talk about the importance of narrative in selling a vision and talking about change. So the story boxes are going to be part of a big project all year long with a series of storytellers, including Kevin Cordy.
March 31st.
And culminating in a storytelling celebration in June.
And so that's the end of this, and then you were telling me, Kevin, and in June some of these boxes will be shipped out.
Each of the 50 boxes, and they're at the Thurber Center, they're at the Ohio Library, they're at Kerouac Cafe Coffee House,
They're at Ryan's Place.
They're at Wild Goose Creative. Each person will have the opportunity to tell a story from the box at a OSU student-wide, community-wide storytelling festival.
Now, Ryan, you say something different about your box because people don't just have to put in the written word.
That's right, yeah. I mean, a big part of what we're doing at Wild Goose Creative is creating new works and collaboration, and we're going to be gathering stories from all different mediums, and so focusing a lot of our events, whether it's a workshop or a culinary event or a featured artist event, in terms of gathering these stories and allowing people to use photography or visual art or the written word to participate. And then we're going to do a new thing called Story Slams, which is like a poetry slam, celebrating and allowing people to have a competition and celebrate telling stories to a live audience. So we're excited about the project. There's a lot of things going on with it.
Give me an example. Read this one little story that was in the box, Kevin, because they don't have to be long.
Sure, this is...
I think it's when.
When.
Okay.
When I was out of high school, I was going to the military. I broke my foot a week before being shipped to boot camp. During the 2 months of recovery, I realized how weak we are as humans and how easy it is for us to be broken. From that moment on, I lived my life to be a productive force in the world, not destructive. Just that little snapshot. Everyone has a story to tell. And so I may be a professional storyteller.
Really well. I know Kevin's you can say, oh, he's really putting a lot of emotion into that. How fun.
But some of the best stories that I've heard are people telling me in whispers or walking to the hallway. And we need to have a way of really putting those down and sharing them with the open community. The thing about this is every story that's put in that box can be shared by teachers in any way. They freely give these stories.
Okay, Rebecca, you're going to toss this box in June, and you're going to send it off somewhere. Aren't you afraid the box isn't going to come back? Because the way I see it is it goes to Ireland, and then Ireland might send it to France, and France might send it to South Africa. Then you may never see it again, or do you think it'll get lost?
Well, if it does, it's okay, because I think lost is a relative term. You know, the thing about storytelling, it's not one way. You expect in giving, but there's also the receiving of the story. So if the box stays in one location for a while, I think part of what we'll be assuming is that there's more receiving going on at that time. Maybe there needed to be a little more time for the stories to go in the box. But Kevin's experience has been a box has never been completely lost.
You
It's always
We've
something to find
we've
the box.
recovered it. Yeah.
been recovered. So.
Okay, now the three of you have some venues where some folks can do this. Kevin, where is your place in Clintonville, or Ryan, where people can go and put a story in your box?
Our events are at 2491 Summit Street, or they can email me at ryan@wildgoosecreative.com with a story.
And the OSU Multicultural Center, obviously you have a box.
And
we're
going
to put a site on, yes, on our site as well, Kevin.
And at the multicultural site, you can also see, pretty soon, within a week or two, we'll have listings of all the places that you can go to see the site. For every story ambassador, they'll have at least 2 events that celebrate story.
Okay.
So we want to invite people to that. They can also go to my website, which is kevincordy.com, and see a digital story that took me 60 hours to do 8 minutes, but we really hope everybody gets involved.
Well, Kevin, Rebecca, Ryan, thank you all so much for being here. Storybox Project, so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you for the
Thank
stories you
you.
share of Columbus.
Thank you. Coming up a little later on Daytime, how you can sharpen your writing skills so that you can be in the Storybox story. Let the folks at Thurber House help you.